I Didn't Apologize to the Well was written in 2007 by Mahmoud Darwish, a Palestinian poet who lived from 1941 to 2008. The poem was initially written in Arabic but was translated to English by Fadi Judah. Darwish is often regarded as Palestine's national poet. Rooney Akash noting, as much as Darwish is the voice of the Palestinian diaspora, he's the voice of the fragmented soul. Darwish grew up with a well-off family before Zionist attacks ruined his family and home, classifying him as a refugee. From a young age, he wrote poetry in protest of Israel and to advocate for Palestine's independence. He would go throughout Palestine reciting his poetry, causing him to be imprisoned in the 60s by Israeli police force. Throughout his career, he faced exile, house arrest, and imprisonment, unable to finish his college career due to Israel banning him from finishing. However, he did not let this stop him from being an activist, joining the Palestinian Liberation Organization and contributing to the Palestinian Declaration of Independence. While in exile, he released his first poetry collection. He is noted as the founder of modern Arabic poetry, incorporating symbolism and metaphors which contrasted the typical lyrical style of Arabic poetry before him. This poem is from a collection called The Butterfly's Burden, including Darwish's usual symbolism and vivid imagery to highlight political scenes. I didn't apologize to the well when I passed the well. I borrowed from the ancient pine tree a cloud and squeezed it like an orange, then waited for a gazelle, white and legendary, and I ordered my heart to be patient, be neutral as if you were not of me. Right here the kind shepherds stood on air and evolved their flutes, then persuaded the mountain quail toward the snare. And right here I saddled the horse for flying toward my planets, then flew. And right here the priestess told me, beware of that asphalt road and the cars and walk upon your exhalation. Right here I slackened my shadow and waited. I picked the tiniest rock and stayed up late. I broke the myth and I broke. And I circled the well until I flew from myself to what isn't of it. A deep voice shouted at me, this grave isn't your grave, so I apologized. I read verses from the wise holy book and said to the unknown one in the well, Salam upon you the day you are killed in the land of peace and the day you rise from the darkness of the well alive. This poem is written in free verse, as is most Arabic poetry, with incantatory rhythm. It has 20 lines from a single stanza that's broken down through commas. Enjambment is used to give the poem a natural flow, and colons mark turns of thought. This poem uses anaphora repetition, repeating the phrase right here, setting the scene, creating a more immersive poem. In this poem, the well is a lexical motif, being referenced throughout the poem as a constant that the author writes around. The repetition of the word I creates a steady rhythm of self-witness. The immediate diacope in I broke the myth and I broke serves to dramatize and emphasize the sentence. Despite the poem being written in Arabic, the poem sounds mellow and flowing. There is assonance in the vowel echo of the long A, shown here, and the liquid L's, shown here. This gives the poem a prayer-like cadence which ties into the religious symbolism. This rhythm is called incantatory rhythm. What makes this poem special is symbolism being able to communicate so many different ideas at once. Darwish does this by using natural elements and pastoral symbols to portray innocence and betrayal. The ancient pine tree, a tree with deep roots and old age, is a symbol of heritage and history, and it's being borrowed from and squeezed, a political commentary on the treatment of Palestine. White gazelles are a symbol of purity, as well as the kind shepherd with his flutes. However, in the poem, they still manage to cause violence by bringing the mountain quail, an innocent animal, to what would probably result in death. The priestess, as a wise figure, is a warning not to forget the history or get distracted by the modern bustle of the asphalt roads. And the asphalt roads serve a harsh contrast to the older imagery mentioned previously throughout the poem. The well could represent many different things, but it is mainly viewed as a source of connection to his homeland and the looming guilt he feels within himself. He keeps coming back to the well and changing how he interacts with it. Salam upon you means peace be with you. Peace be with you as you are dead but will rise with the hope in the well. The poetry collection was published later in his life, falling into the postmodernist movement, and is part of the Palestinian resistance poetry movement. This poetry book propelled protests and was quoted in different organizations in protests against Israel. I Didn't Apologize to the Well was a poem that showed the unwavering stance Darwish had for his culture, despite the tribulations his people had gone through and still face. The quotes from these poems have given Palestinian people a voice to their pain through symbolism that they are able to propel through their protest. Darwish aimed to express the pain of loss and exile while engaging in an exploration of hope and life within the political context that his poetry focuses on, and the struggles that Palestinians still face. I Didn't Apologize to the Well was a form of confrontation towards the trauma that Palestine faces, referencing Palestinian imagery and the exploitation of natural things. The poem offers a sense of healing through ritual, bringing peace and hope despite mourning, and shattering the myth of false promises.